Welcome to the Robbins Regional Wrap, your one-stop shop for all your Houston County news. I'm Megan Western. Each week we're taking you through what's happening in Houston County, Warner Robins, Robbins Air Force Base, and your very own neighborhood. Right now, Centerville police still have not made any arrests after a man was stabbed to death. Coroner James Williams confirmed that 31-year-old Cortez Williamson was stabbed and died this week at the hospital. Olivia Dunn spoke with one woman who says she's concerned for her family's safety.
There are still unanswered questions about this stabbing that happened somewhere in the 300 block of Ridgewood Drive. But one thing that is clear, some neighbors are concerned.
It's really, really scary.
Down the street from Ridgewood Drive, Cindy Grimsley says she's on alert after Sunday's stabbing. The grandmother says she heard about it on social media, but didn't know how close it was to her and her granddaughter.
I really didn't know where it was at until he come and knocked on my door. I'm like the protective type, and I don't even want her to be on her own.
31-year-old Cortez Williamson was stabbed and died at the hospital. Centerville police did not specify where it happened in the block. Chief Cedric Duncan says they haven't made any arrests and are still investigating.
I don't feel so protected right now.
Grimsley says the neighborhood is usually quiet, but is now planning to take precautions.
I'm kind of skeptical about kids going out to bus stops and everything, because if we don't know what's really going on, it's scary. We have kids in this neighborhood.
Grimsley says she still has questions and worries for her family's safety. She hopes police will have more answers soon.
It's not fair to the children or to the parents raising their children to have something like this going on without so much evidence, like nothing's been said. And I feel like that's unjust to this neighborhood. We all matter too.
Chief Duncan says they're still conducting interviews and hope to have more information once they're done. Reporting in Centerville, Olivia Dunn, 13 WMAZ News.
The GBI will do an autopsy on the body. Anyone with information can call Centerville Police at 478-953-4222. That number right here at the bottom of your screen, 478-953-4222. And after a full week of testimony and deliberation, a Houston County judge declared the murder trial of Kiana Davis a mistrial. Davis was accused of killing her 2-year-old son, Carter Ambrose. She faced 7 charges, including malice murder, felony murder, cruelty to children, and aggravated assault. Elizabeth Hunter was in the courtroom late last week as the decision was made.
The jury has sent out a note that they are deadlocked. They did not include a count. I am inclined, obviously I'm going to out-charge them.
4 days into the trial of Kiana Davis, and the jury found themselves in a deadlock. Deliberations picked up Friday morning at 9. At 10:30, the jury asked to rewatch body cam footage from Officer Matthew Whitell. The video showed Officer Whitell interviewing Davis. At around 11:30, the jury sent a note to the judge saying they were at a deadlock. The judge sent a note back asking what counts they were deadlocked on.
Count 1, it was 3-9. Count 2, 4-8. Count 3-9-3. Count 4, 1-11. Count 5-7-5. Count 6-7-5. Count 7-11-1.
After reading this, the judge brought the jury in and Allen charged them. This means the judge gave extra instruction to the jury, encouraging them to continue their deliberations and avoid a mistrial.
The case has been exhaustively tried by both sides. It's been submitted to you for decision and verdict if possible, and not for disagreement. It's the law that a unanimous verdict is required.
Now, despite the judge's encouragement, it was declared a mistrial. The judge asked the state to consider retrying the case in November. Keon Benton, Davis's ex-boyfriend, also faces charges. He'll be tried separately. And we have continuing coverage of inmate conditions in the Houston County Jail. An inmate died this week after suffering a medical emergency. Sheriff Matt Moulton told us 35-year-old Anthony Asbell died at the jail Sunday afternoon. Moulton says medical staff saw him and he appeared to be lethargic. By the time an ambulance got there, Moulton says staff was already performing CPR. Unfortunately, Asbell was pronounced dead a short time later. He'd been in the jail since July 3rd, and this is the second in-custody death in Houston County this year. Coroner James Williams says 33-year-old Shaquan Warren died in May. And if you want a little extra peace of mind, the county's 911 center has a way to check in on you every day. The county's Confirm OK system makes a daily call to enrolled seniors and other at-risk residents to make sure that you guys are okay. Elizabeth Hunter talked with a 911 employee who says the system has already made a difference.
Hello, this is Deputy Nash with the Houston County Are You OK program. Are you okay?
The program itself is a success probably weekly. We have situations where it'll alert, we'll get out there and they're either suffering from some type of medical condition or they've fallen and just simply could not get up off the floor.
Lieutenant Amber Clayton says only 26 people use the program. She says it's underused because people don't know about it.
It's an educational thing. It's getting it out there in the public, but it's also kind of a fear thing. So we've really tried to work hard at getting out there in the senior community and educating them that we're here for everything.
For Robert Russell, that's what happened. He says he had no idea the program existed. He says his mother has lived in her home for 89 years and it's hard to find time to get over there every day.
Sometimes she's falling and I didn't even know she fell. I'll check on her, and I got a lady that goes over there and stays with her, and my cousin helps with her, and the neighbor checks on her, but it wouldn't be a bad idea just to check in on her once a day.
To enroll, you'll have to answer a couple of application questions over the phone. They'll ask for your name, address, contact information, emergency contacts, and if you have any medical issues, and what time you want them to call you every day. The number to enroll in the system is 478-542-9911. Here it is on your screen, 478-542-9911. And Houston County Superior Court bench is now full again. This week, Governor Kemp appointed Kelly Moore to replace the Honorable Edward Lukemire on the Superior Court of the Houston Judicial Circuit. Moore earned her law degree from Mercer University and is the managing partner of a law firm in Perry. She served as judge pro tem for the Houston County Juvenile Court and serves as general counsel for the Georgia Sheriff's Association. Meanwhile, in Warner Robins, code enforcement officers say they're on track to handle more cases than last year. It's been a year since the city moved code enforcement under the umbrella of the police department. Elizabeth Hunter sat down with an officer to talk about what the change has done for the city.
A job that's focused on making Warner Robins a beautiful place to live.
It's given me a sense of pride to see the city grow the way it has.
Senior Officer Andrew Esther has worked with code enforcement for 10 years. He says the change he's seen over the last year is a breath of fresh air.
It gives me a sense of accomplishment to say, well, yeah, I remember when this neighborhood was like this, but now it's changed and it's changing for the better.
In April 2025, Warner Robins decided to move code enforcement under the authority of the police department. City officials say the goal was to give crews more resources and stronger enforcement against blight. Esther says he's seen the benefits firsthand.
We weren't able to run vehicle tags because we didn't have the mandated ability to. But now, if we run across a car, we can call for assistance through the police department to get that information.
He says they have handled 2,700 cases so far this year and 3,600 all of last year. Exandria Armstrong lives near Russell Parkway. She says she's noticed a difference in some areas, but she doesn't think every part of the city gets the same attention.
Here in 31088 area, those aren't as nice. I definitely would love to be able to take, my kids on walks around here, and the grass is just way too high. The trash is unsettling when you're walking past.
Esther says they respond to areas that they get complaints about, so he encourages anyone with problems to report them. In Warner Robins, Elizabeth Hunter, 13W MAZ News.
You can report problems by filling out the form on the city's website or calling the Warner Robins Code Enforcement Office at 478-302-5509. Also this week, Warner Robins City Council approved a data center moratorium. Elizabeth Hunter shares community concerns and how the city responded.
The sound of people agreeing, no data centers.
We already pay enough in bills as far as electricity and water and gas. So if they build it, who's going to ultimately end up paying this price?
Dozens of people filled the Warner Robins City Council room in support of the moratorium. Roshonda Bailey took the mic, not only worried about an increase in taxes, but for future generations.
As an educator, I don't think we really need them because it is going to give more AI. Our kids are already struggling to read, and they rely on this AI versus their own brain.
For John Trussell, location is one of his biggest concerns.
We don't want to harm our wildlife, and when you take thousands of acres, out of wildlife production, it hurts wildlife. So we need to be real concerned about where these data centers go.
But he says he's not against data centers.
I think generally data centers are a good thing when used intelligently. We have to be ready for it, and I applaud the city of Warner Robins for trying to be prepared for this complicated topic.
All those in favor, please say aye and raise your hand. Aye. Motion carries unanimously.
The city says they approved the moratorium because it gives them time to study the issue and draft rules before moving forward. In Warner Robins, Elizabeth Hunter, 13W MAZ News.
The freeze is going to run through January 20th of next year unless the city acts again before that. And if you travel down Alberta Road in Centerville, you're going to see construction starting up soon. Houston County Commissioners just approved the next phase of the road project. Elizabeth Hunter has more on what this road work could mean for your commute.
The construction will start at the intersection of Collins Avenue and Alberta Road. And will finish on the other end of Alberta Road where it intersects with Carl Vinson Parkway.
They will start in a few weeks being out there surveying, laying things out, and then road construction will begin shortly after that.
Houston County Chairman Dan Perdue says the road has sat on their list for a while. The 2018 SPLOST will fund the $2.8 million project. He says hundreds of cars travel the road each day, which made it a key area to get done.
Really all residents through the county and really people traversing the county, whether they're residents or not, utilize that road.
Perdue says the project upgrades the road to 3 lanes. He says the county is splitting the work with Centerville.
The city of Centerville is paying to relocate their utilities that are in this area, and then the county is actually paying for the road construction there.
Perdue says the county will do its best to alert people about closures. Denise Jones, who lives off Alberta Road, says she's dreading the chaos.
Well, we don't like it. We think it's going to really mess things up around here. We have a hard enough time trying to get off our own street as it is.
Jones says road work brings headaches, but hopes the project moves fast. Perdue says the work will last around 17 months, so it should wrap up in early 2028. In Centerville, Elizabeth Hunter, 13W MAZ News.
Perdue says the Phase 1 roundabout being constructed at Alberta Road and Collins Avenue is on track for completion in March of next year. Still ahead, Perry veterans and their families are learning about resources they may be missing out on. We're going to share their story coming up. Plus, the bacterial outbreak impacting lettuce has some shoppers nervous. We're going to check in with a local grocery store on how the issue is impacting sales. Thanks so much for sticking with us. Despite years of service, some veterans have not yet been able to capitalize on benefits and medical care that they've earned. This week, Veterans Affairs hosted a town hall in Perry to connect veterans to resources they deserve. Alex Grondin has more.
And in particular, this is general.
On Wednesday night, Army veterans and their families piled in to learn more about what they may have been missing out on. Army veteran John Mullen says the VA's local presence saved him from a near-hour drive.
I have a job, I work full-time, and I couldn't be driving to and from Dublin 3 times a week for those treatments. Fortunately, was able to find about a year later somebody here locally who does dry needling for pain management and actually start that tomorrow.
For Mullins, the VA is his only medical care now, and so he says that's why attending this meeting was so important for him. Fellow Army veteran Sharonda Henry came because community and care were crucial for her as well.
When I was still serving, there wasn't a lot of information about the community and care. You use the VA and that was it. So to find out that there are physicians that you can actually go to in the community that partner is beneficial.
One of the reasons the VA goes around Central Georgia and South Georgia is because there are a lot of veterans who simply don't know that they have these benefits available to them.
We are able to expand to reach even more veterans. Over the last few years, we've had the opportunity to expand a considerable amount based on a few things that went through Congress that we couldn't be even any more excited about.
That's Interim Associate Director Jeremy Parsons. And the laws he's talking about are the Mission Act and PACT Act, which expand eligibility for community care and added benefits for veterans exposed to toxic chemicals during service. Reporting in Perry, Alex Grondin, 13W MAZ News.
If you weren't able to attend that meeting, you can always find all the information on the VA's Facebook page or their website. And we've continued to follow health officials' investigation into the Cyclospora outbreak. And now there's a new outbreak involving 70 cases. It's alarming because the Food and Drug Administration has not identified which products are actually linked to the illnesses or where the latest cases are located. Earlier this week, the FDA put out a recall for Taylor Farms iceberg lettuce, linking it as a source of a separate multi-state outbreak. With concerns about the recall and symptoms like severe diarrhea, some shoppers are thinking twice before buying lettuce. But as Amanda Allen reports, one Byron grocery store says its customers don't have to worry.
Faye Tyndall enjoys shopping at Freshway Market in Byron.
It's a good store to shop.
And like any customer, she leaves through produce products from tomatoes, peaches, and lettuce.
I can have the lettuce to make us a bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich.
And the topic of lettuce has been headlining the news lately. The FDA recalled all Taylor Farms bags with shredded iceberg lettuce from Mexico as it's been linked to Cyclospora. It's a small parasite that causes an infection in your intestines, and that's sprouted some concern for Tyndall.
I'd rather get the head of lettuce than the bag.
And she's not the only one who's shaken up over the salad aisle. Produce manager Richard Faulkner has had customers ask him about it.
Yes, a couple people have been a little concerned.
But he wants them to wait before they toss out buying lettuce from Freshway Market.
Most of our lettuce comes from Florida or Georgia. Nothing comes from Mexico here.
And while they do sell Taylor Farms kits, it doesn't contain any of that recalled iceberg lettuce from Mexico. According to the FDA, the only Taylor Farms products affected are the ones with shredded iceberg lettuce.
We sell 4 Taylor Farms kits, but we do not carry the iceberg lettuce from Taylor Farms. Ours is from Fresh Express.
For Tyndall, that's refreshing to hear, not just for herself, but for other customers.
It's better for this store because then people don't have to worry that they're getting something bad.
And until she gets more answers about the source of this problem, she'll be buying heads of lettuce a bunch more.
Hoping that they would, soon find out what's causing it,
In Byron, Amanda Allen, 13 WMAZ News.
Taylor Farms says that they are no longer getting lettuce sourced from Mexico for the remainder of the season. They have workers on site in central Mexico who are trying to figure out how the lettuce was contaminated. And in Warner Robins, one organization is focused on saving lives and promoting better health.
One of the pillars of our organization is health and wellness, and to provide that service in our communities, and that's why we're electing to start doing this.
The 100 Black Men of Greater Warner Robins hosted a community health forum and blood drive connecting people with health screenings. Folks who came out could receive diabetes screenings, glucose testing, and education, as well as blood pressure checks. The event was designed to promote physical, mental, and emotional wellness while encouraging people to take an active role in their health.
It's always a great thing to come out and provide service support. That's what it's all about, giving back to the community. Each one reach one, so I think support is great, particularly in your local area.
Go ahead and mark this on your calendars. The group is hosting a car show on August the 8th at First Baptist Church in Warner Robins. That event will have STEM events as well as youth mentorship opportunities. And up next, young people across the country and around the world came to Perry to show off their skills. What impact do events like this have on Perry? We'll tell you after this. Thanks for staying with us. The National Fairgrounds in Perry is seeing a main attraction as it hosts the Youth World Horse Barrel Racing Championships. Amanda Allen shows us how it's causing a Perry business to gallop in growth.
Hooves, heat, and horses. Races are underway at the Georgia National Fairgrounds for the Youth Horse Barrel Championships, and people are trotting in from all over.
Nationally and even internationally, we have people out here from Australia, Italy,
And then out west, even local, there's a Georgia team out here.
The fairgrounds says it brings around 5,000 people to the grounds, watching horses run around barrels in a timed race. These races span for days in both youth and teen categories. The races have hit the dirt here since 2012, and it's galloping in more business as well.
When horses like Jake here need a little extra feed and gear, that need is answered at local businesses here, such as Perry Feed and Tack.
It grows a little larger every year.
Owner Jeff Moss says this championship brings in big business for his store. He's saddled up in stock for customers and has seen folks come in all ready for extra supplies.
Feed, hay, lots of cowboy hats and boots and Hey Dude shoes.
Because the event is one of the fairground's largest, Moss started preparing before the first trailer rolled into town.
A couple of months in advance, we start ordering materials and getting more and more stuff in.
And Moss says he's spurring in the success.
During this 10 days of the Youth World Barrel Racing Championship, our business almost doubles during this week.
Sure, the races kick up sales, but Moss says the real payoff isn't what's just sold at the register. It's the familiar faces who walk back through the door each year.
Every year, they remember they come back in here, and even if they don't buy anything, they visit.
In Perry, Amanda Allen, 13 WMAZ News.
Alrighty, and we're looking ahead to the Georgia National Fair, which comes to the fairgrounds in October, and we now know a couple of the confirmed acts coming to the fair this year. Grammy-nominated band Hanson will take the stage on October the 9th. The group is known for their 1997 hit single, Bop. Fair organizers also announced Lone Stars performing on October 8th. The successful country band has been performing for decades with hits like Amazed and I'm Already There. Now, the concerts are free with your fair ticket. They start at 7:30 each night. Admission costs $15 for folks 11 and up, $5 for kids 3 to 10. The fair goes from October the 8th to the 18th. And what's happening around the Robbins region? We'll preview some upcoming events after the break. Alrighty, before we let you go, let's go ahead and take a look at what's happening across the Robbins region. Coming up, a Warner Robins barbershop is hosting an event aimed at encouraging Black men to prioritize their health. Cuts and Checkups Black Men's Wellness Day will offer free healthcare screenings, mental health support, nutrition and fitness advice, and some other community resources and giveaways. Take a look at your screen. It's happening Saturday, August 1st from 10 until 2 over at Capital Cuts Super Shop on Watson Boulevard in Warner Robins. And the Genesis Joy House is inviting your family to kick off the school year with food, fun, and community. They're hosting a back-to-school food truck festival with opportunities to pick up some supplies. That'll be happening Saturday, August 1st from noon until 6 at the Walmart Supercenter on Booth Road in Warner Robins. If you're a business owner and want to participate, contact Genesis Joy House. And next week on 13 WMAZ Morning, we're celebrating back to school for Central Georgia students. You can join us live for coverage as the school year begins. Find out more about the no cell phone policy, AI in the classroom, teachers' school supply wishes, and safety training for bus drivers. Watch Monday through Friday over on 13 WMAZ Morning. Now, of course, if you want to look at the entire school calendar, we've made it easy for you to access. Head on over to our first day of school article on 13WMAZ.com. Alrighty, that's a wrap on what's happening throughout the Robbins region this week. If you have a Houston County story you want us to share, email us at news@13WMAZ.com and make sure you keep coming back each and every week to get all your Houston County news and the stories that matter to you. Thanks for joining us.